So, excellent. Thank you. So, welcome. I'm Marcy Mowry, and Mike Piaskowski with the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps is here as well. And we're here to answer questions as it relates to the proposal for a workforce development study. So, Mike, if you just want to give a little overview about what you're looking for, and then we can open the floor up to questions.
Sure. So the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps is Pennsylvania's premier youth conservation work skills development program. And we work across all kinds of boundaries, areas, and work with all kinds of people. And so far, our main kind of denomination, or whatever the right word is, has been we work with youth. Okay. And we work with youth ages 15 to 25. They're our target audience for this program. But there have to be, and I know there are subsets within those youth, and within those subsets, different things that matter less or more to them. And I think those things may be some of the factors that influence that are where they live. Do they live in an urban area, a suburban area, a rural area, ethnicity group, and socio-demographic makeup, racial makeup. Right now, we just put out blanket messages to all of youth in all of the places we can think of, and we want to be more targeted with our messaging and the delivery of that messaging. So this study is really to help us discover and document and become more thoughtful and deliberate in how we are reaching those 15 to 25-year-olds across those different areas. As I mentioned, rural, suburban, urban areas, and different cultural considerations as well. So we're trying to discover that. It's an area that I really don't totally have language around. As I'm talking, this is the best it's come out yet. So helping to discover what those social media or outreach trends are, where people are hearing messages to help us again better reach people in a more targeted and thoughtful way in the places that they are, and speaking the language, and kind of respecting the customs and the cultures that we're communicating with.
Great, thank you, Mike. And I will add that this study is an outgrowth of an assessment of the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps, and then a strategic planning session for the Outdoor Corps. Both of those documents are available on the website, on the Pennsylvania Parks and Forest Foundation's website. Additionally, Mike, can you you mentioned the Outdoor Corps and youth. Can you define what the Outdoor Corps looks like?
Sure.
In terms of when does it mean, how long of it is in employment, that type of thing?
Sure. So the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps, again, is a youth work skills development program. We're a hands-on program where we have crews of young people that are deployed out into the field to accomplish conservation and outdoor recreation projects across Pennsylvania. Our main work sites are Pennsylvania's parks and forests. We also do a lot of work in local communities with conservation districts, land trusts, municipalities, municipal agencies. And we're looking to grow that segment of our work as well to increase our partnership base. At the same time, opening up more career pipeline opportunities for our participants so that they can move into conservation careers in the outdoors, but also help our public and private entities recognize that the Outdoor Corps is a great place where they can source ready-made, entry-level, and beyond employees into their businesses and workplaces. So did that answer the question, Marcy?
Yeah. Yes. Just to give some background on who they are, what they do, and summer program and 10-month program.
Sure. Yes. If I can continue, we do currently operate two program models. Our youth program serves ages 15 to 18, and that program operates it's primarily a summer program, operating most heavily in July and August. And then we have our young adult program serving ages 18 to 25, and that's a 9-month engagement for the crew members. Both programs are a little longer engagement for crew leaders, as there is training at the beginning and demobilization at the end of each program. But that's an idea of our work seasons. We serve about 170 people a year in our workforce, and DCNR does contract this workforce, and our current contractor is the Student Conservation Association. They're a national youth corps organization.
Okay, thank you, Mike. So I'd like to open the floor up to any questions at this time. So, and we're a small enough group, just as you have a question, ask.
I have a question. SCA, what studies, research have they provided you related to this workforce? And what is their role in actually recruiting these folks and ensuring that they're pulling, from the right resources? Because I think I understand that they're actually the employer. That Pennsylvania is not the employer. And what are they doing? What is their role? And what research have they done to help to target and identify these folks?
Excellent question. No research has been shared with us that they've done so far. They do the recruitment, outreach, and hiring for this program. So yes, all of our outdoor corps members, all of our program participants are employees of the Student Conservation Association. No one in the program is employed by DCNR. We do work in tandem with them at DCNR to organize and facilitate outreach events in different places, such as career fairs, special event fairs, things like that. But ultimately, SCA is responsible for recruitment, onboarding, hiring these individuals.
And I'll build off of that. Part of what we see this study doing is informing a marketing plan for the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps. That is the next step beyond this, which is why we have the deadlines that we do on the request for proposal, is we want to inform a marketing plan and be able to start to implement a marketing plan towards the end of this year and the beginning of next year.
What outreach have you done that has been successful to youth? And has DCNR done it directly, or is it all through SCA?
Again, we do it jointly. I would say SCA does the lion's share of it. Probably about 80-20, maybe even like 85-15, SCA driven. They are our current contractor, and they now have a recruitment specialist who's been in that position now for about 2 months only, but has been very effective. Some of their outreach they've done already and have done in the past include visiting schools, career fairs. We both do outreach via social media. We also post in places like Indeed, place some articles on LinkedIn and some other platforms, some other limited platforms, social platforms. We've also done through PPFF, even some specialty radio shows down in the Reading area, which thank you, Marcy and PPFF, for having us out to those. They've been really great. Sure. Our program reaches people many times through word of mouth. Many times that word of mouth travels through the conservation community. And we would really like to open this program up to non-conservation partners as well, to bring more people into the fold.
Okay. So this is going to inform a marketing plan or a campaign for for the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps. Will this marketing plan be shared with SCA? Are they helping to inform it? And in what capacity are they going to provide some inputs to this assessment and this analysis?
They can provide input to this analysis. They will be hopefully involved with the marketing plan that will come after. They do have a marketing department and professionals that work in those capacities. So your question before about have they provided any research, thus far, I'm sure that they have looked into these things. I don't have knowledge of it, so that might be a great lead to chase with this study, and also the upcoming marketing study. I will say that SCA is our current contractor. This program does go back out to bid this year, and we'll have a new contractor in place in 2026, which may or may not be SCA. And hopefully whatever organization is successful in winning that bid or that process would also have some expertise in-house that could be tapped into.
And can I build on that? I think my understanding of part of the marketing plan is to help the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps develop its own unique identity, because some of the research has shown that the identity has been lost, and people don't necessarily connect themselves to working for the POC and delivering work in state parks and state forests.
Okay.
Yes, I would agree. That's true as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tanya, do you have any additional questions?
You're muted, Tanya.
What kind of qualifications or types of young people are you looking for this program?
Our opportunity is open to everyone. We look for people that, for our crew leaders in particular, we like to have them have some sort of experience working in the outdoors or working with youth. That's one audience that we try to reach. It's not mandatory, but having one of those kind of experiences as a feather in your cap is desirable. Our youth can really come from anywhere. We hire young people that may have not graduated high school, to people that have advanced college degrees in natural sciences or other disciplines. We hire young people that have no work experience, and they could be 24 years old and have never had a job, or they could be 16 years old and have been working on the farm since they're 5. So we have a wide array, and no true other than well, not even age. We do say 15 to 25. We do give consideration to people that maybe have had some developmental issues growing up. Maybe they're 19-year-old, but they would be in a state appropriate to serve on a youth crew for some reason or another. We would accept that as well. So we have some loose parameters, but the program really is open to everyone. We're not specifically justice involved youth, or not specifically not justice involved. We do pull from everywhere, and we try to do our best to reduce barriers to employment with this program by providing transportation to the work site each day from a meeting location, for our youth crews by providing lunch for our youth crews each day, and really try to intentionally set this program up in as much of a universal design fashion as we can figure out how to do, to serve as many people as possible.
And Mike, would this be a good place to also mention that you have the American Sign Language crew?
We do, right. Yes. Yeah, we do run our American Sign Language youth crew currently in partnership with the Western Pennsylvania School for the Deaf.
What partnerships do you have with schools?
So far, we have the WSPD, WPSD partnership. This year in 2025, we're forging relationships with the Philadelphia school district, with their Saul School, Lankenaw, and there's another campus as well that are focused with natural science curriculums. And we're also forging a partnership with the Lancaster School District, the School District of Lancaster this year, to help recruit youth from their programs, as well as hopefully work with the school district on some close to home improvements to the school district grounds. I see relationships with school districts as an area we may continue to move in, with some intentional recruitment in an effort, particularly maybe in our, well, that's not true. I was going to say maybe like our second class, third class cities type of thing. But I can see value in that actually in pretty much in all landscapes, improving partnerships with school districts to help us recruit and identify projects close to home. Because there are campuses such as Lancaster that are looking to green their campuses up, spend less money mowing lawn, improve on their impervious surfaces and things like that. So we can certainly help with that work. And if we can work in neighborhoods where people are living, that's just a lot of added benefit.
Great. From just one last question related to qualifications. So from your list of qualifications, tell us what you are looking for ideally in a contractor to support you. Because I see that, similar services, what does that mean specifically? If you could just be a little bit more specific related to the kind of experience you're looking for.
I'm happy to take this, Marcy, or you want to start?
Yeah, I think we're looking for people or contractors who have experience in workforce development, that are able to analyze the trends, particularly as they're related to youth and youth employment. Not only analyze the trends, but interpret the trends for recommendations that could then inform a marketing plan. And, one of the things that we had put in there too is this is in the conservation realm. It's also in the climate resiliency realm, so it's bigger than just workforce development. If those are potential layers as well, conservation, climate resiliency, all of those as factors of communication and outreach from employment, and what's preventing youth from engaging in employment? What are you competing with when it comes to employment? So Mike, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I agree with all that. And I will say that what's important to me is a firm that either has direct knowledge or has access to knowledge keepers in the communities we're trying to reach, to understand what messages reach them, and understand particularly cultural barriers in reaching those audiences. And I'll give an example. I can give two examples. Throughout my career, I remember this was a while ago, but we were trying to understand why we built this bike trail and nobody in the local community was using the bike trail to get to work. It was still really your hardcore spandex wearing, bike riding, doing battle out on the roads type of biker, the serious biker, as opposed to the commuter, not serving the local community. And came to learn through speaking with the local community that riding a bike was seen as people thought you were poor if you rode a bike to work. So that was a real eye opener. It was a cultural thing. where it wasn't in vogue to ride a bike because people would think you were poor. So that level of understanding is what I'm trying to reach in this study in the messaging. Another example is working with, I believe it was with the Latino Connection in Harrisburg. At some point in conversation with them, well, it was through a seminar, I think, understanding the different segments of the Latino population as I think like TV Guide would break them down. You know, the knowledge keepers. There was different segments there's different segments within the Latino community based on age, based on position, whatever. I don't understand that. I don't have that knowledge. I'm not privy to it or in that community, and I need this study. I'm looking to this study to discover these things and bring this information to us. But it was on ultimately the messaging was on how to reach different segments of the Latino community, and how important it is to structure ads. This is what I took out of it, to structure written ads or advertisements to be action oriented. You know, so instead of saying DCNR has 121 state parks, you can go swimming, you can walk on a trail. More appropriate, as I understand, the message would be, come, go swimming at DCNR parks. It's action oriented right up top. That seems to reach the Latino population better, from my understanding. But again, it's been years. I don't understand these nuances. I don't have this knowledge. I am looking for a firm to bring these types of really intricately held or understood, probably universally within the communities, those types of things forward, so that we can understand that and be more effective with outreach and communication.
Are you looking for potential nuances within communities? So, you know, as I think about Philadelphia and I think about Pittsburgh, they're very different from each other culturally, even though you may have similar pockets of people demographically. In terms of the cultural nuances, it may be a little bit different in each of those communities. Are you looking for that level of granularity in your assessment too, or kind of high level? Okay, good.
I'm looking for this assessment, I think, to identify, you know, what are the important aspects, you know, and then underneath that, what are the different segments, what are the different subsegments, what messaging is important to them, type of thing. You know,
I think there's a little bit of overlap, because I think understanding the employment trends will inform the marketing aspect. And to me, some of this is the marketing end. How do you present the language? Some of it, you know, first we need to know what's influencing youth, what are the trends, and then the next step is, how do we communicate in that youth language, whatever it might be, across the state to bring more youth into the program.
that's true.
Are there other pockets or groups that you think the Pennsylvania Outdoor Corps should be tapping into that you're not getting students from those pockets? So you mentioned the Latino community, you mentioned probably the African American community within the urban centers and the rural settings. We talked a little bit about schools and a little bit about disabilities. Are there other kind of cultural groups that you're thinking you want to do some outreach to that you feel or just underrepresented completely within the program?
I don't know the laws around it, but I often think about refugees. So that might be one. You know, I think about all the different racial and ethnic groups. You know, can we be doing better outreach to the Asian community? Can we be doing better outreach to the indigenous community? Can we be doing better outreach to the white community? I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's there. I guess those are big ones, and kind of those they're easily seen. It would be nice.
What about neurodivergent? I mean, are you actively recruiting youth that are
We do.
neurodivergent?
Yeah, we do. Through the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. They help us with outreach to neurodivergent populations. To be completely honest with you, I'm finding out that we're all neurodivergent.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're all
it would
on the
have to agree.
spectrum.
It's great. It's
Yep.
what makes the world go round. We're, we do hold trainings with our managers and our group leaders on managing for neurodiverse populations. And again, it goes back to that type of universal design considerations when we do trainings, and how we structure our program year to unfold has neurodivergency in mind for sure. If we're thinking about like maybe the LGBTQ community, we really do try to, for everyone, we really do try to provide a safe space in this program for people to learn and grow, where they feel safe coming to work. And we really do prioritize that in our work as program managers. So that might be another great population that we should be thinking about service to.
Monica, Tanya, other questions?
One more. I mean, hey, why not? You need questions and we need answers. So this is helpful for us. Thank you so much. So you have, as a part of the scope, explore methodology for transitioning alumni to employees, retention of employees, and strengthening alumni support. So can you elaborate a little bit more on what you're thinking there, and how that piece is connected to the other elements you talked about earlier?
Excellent question. We do need to devise ways to stay in contact, to be a more attractive resource for our alumni, whether they have gained employment or not. So far, our method for trying to reach them has been through surveys, and those surveys are not successful. By and large, the only time they have been is when we have tied the Amazon gift cards to a survey response. So for the alumni audience in particular, devising or figuring out platforms or methods for keeping them involved and staying active on their radar as they transition and as they sit in new professional positions.
Okay. Thank you. That was very helpful.
All good questions.
Yay.
Mike, is there anything?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's an exciting project, actually. Pretty cool. I'm assuming most of this will be desktop research and, maybe interviews with organizations that, that are what you called it, the knowledge keepers.
That's what I envision, to be honest with you. I do envision it being the majority of that.
Okay.
I agree.
Great. Awesome. Thank you.
Excellent. So Mike, any final words that you'd like to share?
I think we covered it. I appreciate you having interest in this and your thoughtful questions today. I think they were helpful for everyone involved. So thanks for posing all those.
Yes, thank you. And this is a closed bid process. They'll be going into office at paparksandforest.org, and we'll open them all at the same time, and we'll have a review committee. Okay. That's our process. And our goal is to, once we select, we will communicate, and then hopefully in a real quick turnaround, have a contract in place so the work can begin. And then that timeline is outlined in the RFP.
Thank you.
Marvelous. Wonderful to see you. And thank you
You
for
too.
being here and answering the great questions, asking the great questions. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out.
Sounds great. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your
Right.
time today. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. And thanks for letting
Thanks,
us
Valerie.
hop in as two Tanyas in the beginning.
Do you see, I changed your name.
I do see that. I was like, okay, Tanya 1 or Tanya 2.
All right. Well, thank
We
you.
appreciate
Okay.
it. Good luck.
Thank
All right.
you.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Thanks.